Hey folks, welcome back to the Leeds Gamer. Apologies for this match review being quite late. Ever since the match was played, I literally, as soon as full time came along, I then set off to go and look after my daughter for a few days. However, got back tonight and thought, yeah, why not? Let's do a review. I'll make it relatively brief because it is only the cup, it's not a league match, so it's not quite as important. Obviously we'd love a good cup run, and so far it's not a bad run. It's 3 matches against hold on, no sorry, it's 2 matches against championship opposition, and in the next round we've got another championship opposition in Norwich City, the Daniel Farke derby. There's going to be one in it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. And we finally got a home tie. So they do exist. My God. They're as rare as pots of gold at the end of the rainbow, I tell you. Flipping heck. Yeah, both of these, the Derby and Birmingham matches, were both away. So yeah, good to finally get a flipping home draw. About bloody time. Anyway, so delving into the match. Ironically, they just simply put a line through Birmingham City. I assume it's because they got knocked out. Nice one, football. Right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you can see, after 90 minutes, with a 12 midday kickoff on a Sunday. My God, I tell you, only Leeds could get dealt this kind of crap. But hey, you know, we'll just grit his teeth, as we always do. So, started off with Lucas Metcher with an absolute blaster, thunderbolt of a strike, beautifully struck to put Leeds 1-0 ahead on the 49th minute. And ironically, with the way the game had gone, when Patrick Roberts got the equaliser, I didn't quite realise that the match was as late on as the 89th minute. It didn't feel like the 89th. It was weird. This obviously caused us to go into extra time. Just regarding Roberts' goal, I mean, it's basically a James Justin own goal, really. It's a massive deflection. I think without the deflection, Lucas Perry, who had a very good game by the way, would have definitely got something on it, and the likelihood is he would have got enough behind it to, you know, to save it and prevent the goal. There's no one that can argue that. You only have to look at the flipping replay. The deflection's huge. You can see the change in the angle of the direction that the ball's going. It kind of starts relatively mid-height, comfortable for a goalkeeper to get his body behind it, especially a goalkeeper as tall as Lucas Perry. He's a good solid 6'5", 6'6". He's a big boy. So he'd have comfortably got to it, and then it just rose. Well, that way, sorry. It just kind of rose. So it was kind of steady, and then and just that you know, coming off the head of James Justin. I'm fairly sure it was James Justin. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head now. It's been a few days. I've tried sleeping since the match. Yeah, my daughter's kept me on my toes these last few days. She's great as hell, love her to bits. But yeah, so with all of that, Roberts takes the match into extra time for Birmingham. I think ideally Leeds could have done without the extra time, quite frankly. So by this point, nothing happens of any tremendous note in the extra time, and we go to penalties, of which I was dreading. Now, before this match was played, I didn't want to get knocked out by any opposition that was lower than Premier League. If you get knocked out by a Premier League team, yeah, whatever. Same division we're in, there's no real disgrace in it. But get knocked out by lower opposition, even just one division below in the Championship, and it feels a bit crappy. So, to actually win this match in the end, even through penalties, I'm fine with it. It's not a problem. So, in terms of those penalties, really good from a Leeds perspective. Wasn't expecting it. And in the end, it was left to Mr. Sean Longstaff to put the final penalty away and get Leeds into the next round of the FA Cup. Tremendous scenes at St Andrews at the end of it from a Leeds point of view. The players all got into a huddle after Sean scored, and you can tell it meant quite a lot, considering that it was only a cup match and it doesn't qualify anything at all in terms of Leeds staying in the Premier League or anything like that. So when you look at the match, and we'll go into the lineups right now. Obviously, plenty of player changes on. I think even Birmingham put some players out that hadn't played a vast amount this season. Certainly in my match preview, I just went with all of the players that had played the most for Birmingham this season, and this lineup is quite different. I'll start with their lineup actually. So Alsop's he's the backup goalkeeper behind James Beadle. So he played. The two fullbacks, Leeds were actually linked with both of them back when Leeds were in the Championship. You've got Bright Asay Samuel, who's quite an experienced player these days. And then you've got Kai Wagner, who Leeds, again, were quite heavily linked with at one point, back in our Championship days. But both of them have ended up at Birmingham. I did have Chris of Clara starting the match, and he did so. Panzo started. I had Doyle starting. Solis started. I had Gray and Stansfield starting. They had Vicente starting, and then Prisk up front. So I only got about half of the team right on their side. From a Leeds perspective, I went with Perry. I didn't really know what kind of formation we were going to go with. It surprised me that kind of because I'm not convinced it was actually this particular formation, but it was, when I looked at the lineup, I was thinking it was, when you look at that list of players, you've got Justin at right back, Biol Bornow centre back, Goodmanson left back, and then you've got Longstaff and Tanaka with Buonanotte just ahead of him, and then Okafor and Mecha up front. That's kind of how I was looking at it from when I saw the team sheet. But according to this, it were more of a 3-4-2-1, if you like. So yeah, with Leeds it was Perry in goal, Justin, Biol, Bornow, Goodmanson. I was surprised that Gabby started. And again, I was surprised that Sam Byram didn't get a look in. These cup games are ideal for players like Joel Pirou, who was another one I was surprised wasn't starting. Joel Pirou and Sam Byram, who have hardly kicked a ball this season. Really surprised me that neither of those started this match. But yeah, so that was your back four, and then as I say, you had Tanaka and Longstaff with Buonanotte just kind of ahead. I mean, there's Nonto there as well. What is Fotmob doing? What the heck? So in effect, actually, I guess at one point it kind of looked maybe, so maybe even Nonto on that, because I've just forgotten that, like, not that was in this 11 here. It's like, you had Nonto on one wing, and I guess technically you could have had either Okafor on the other wing, or even Buonanotte on one of the wings, and then it almost becomes a 4-4-2 at that point. Regardless, it don't really matter. We won the match after penalties, so generally I'm alright with it. When it comes to the subs, now this made a massive difference. Ethan Ampadu came on at half time. Came on for Buonanotte, who he was non-existent. Poor kid. But Ethan, club captain, came on and just took control of the match. You could tell he had more quality than anyone on the pitch. Certainly anyone in his position, at least, anyway. Just absolutely bossed that second half when he came on, and really made a difference. You always want your subs to make a difference. Well, I'm telling you, Ethan Ampadu made one hell of a difference. We also brought on Brendan, Dom, Joel, Jaden and Joe. As you can see there, quite a lot of late subs. Joe Roden only came on very, very late on. But all the subs were made, comfortably second half, apart from Ethan, who came on at half time. From a Birmingham point of view, Osman and Dux came on. Roberts and Fujimoto, Newman and Biteka. Biteka being the only one that came on in extra time, according to this. So, that was that. The players that didn't get to come on, from a Leeds perspective, Caldala was the backup goalkeeper for the day. Sam Byram didn't get a sniff, which I don't know. I just don't know. And Ilya Gruev. For Birmingham, Brad Mayo, the backup goalie. Two backup goalies on their bench, actually. Brad Mayo and James Beadle. Beadle's been playing regular in the league for them. And then defender Billy Burrell. It looks like they're all kids there, doesn't it, really? So, in terms of unavailable players, they had a few unavailables, actually. I had a couple of these in the starting lineup because obviously they played a lot of football. Paik had played a lot, Cochrane had played a lot, so I had both of them in the 11. Didn't have these three in, Laird, Robinson or Buchanan. From Leeds' point of view, I thought James might have started, and then we found very late on that he had a back injury, so he couldn't play. We knew that Stack and Strauch. Well, hold on, we knew Stack were out. I don't know about Strauch. I don't know. I can't remember now. So that was that. In terms of the lineups, if we go to the match statistics, this is wrong, by the way. It wasn't Simon Hooper, and I can't remember the name of the bloke who actually was the ref. There was someone in commentary at some point saying that it were Hooper. It definitely was not Hooper. It was not Hooper. I'm telling you right off the bat, it was not Hooper. Oh God. What was his name now? His name kind of came to mind eventually when a bit later on in the match. But for the commentators that were saying it was Simon Hooper, they were well wrong. It were another, so-called Premier League standard referee. More like a referee that attempts to ref in the Prem. So anyway, in terms of possession, Birmingham, first half, Birmingham were, they were the better team. I'll break it down first actually. As you can see there, Birmingham comfortably the better team in the first half. I think we should have it second. Oh, what is this? What the? It's bloody ads coming up on FotMob. FotMob doesn't have ads coming up. What the hell? Apologies for that, folks. Anyway, brought up Betfred. So a little closer, but to me, for me, Leeds, Leeds were better second half. I don't remember much of anything happening in the in the extra times. I mean, the game always goes cagey in extra time. According to this, we had it was first half of extra time was fairly close, and then second half of extra time, Leeds were starting to show their stamina for the most part. So if we go to the overall stats, we'll just go through the entirety of these. Quite a lot of shots between the two teams. If this would have been a league game, you'd probably have to say that a draw was a fair result for both teams, but obviously it's not. It's a cup game. But that's pretty much it as far as that's concerned. To be fair to Birmingham, they came at us. They weren't looking to sit back and defend for long periods or anything like that. So fair play that they gave us a game. But I'm one of these that just wants to see Leeds win and win comfortably and play well, and I don't really care about the opposition because I really don't. From a shot point of view, mix of a mix really. Expected goals, Birmingham had a bit more, but it doesn't matter, does it? Leeds won. Leeds a little bit more on the defensive side. Birmingham even won the passing side, which is very weird. According to this, they got 3 yellow cards, and we were clean as a whistle. There we go. Noah Okafor gets himself the FOTMOB man of the match, suggesting Patrick Roberts was the best player on the pitch for Birmingham. I mean, for me, I'd have gone as far as saying Ethan Ampadu changed the game. The Ant-Man was definitely the game changer in terms of improving Leeds' overall performance. We had leadership on the pitch. We had someone that was bossing the midfield a bit more, and it was good. Gary Gummerson, always good. He hardly ever has a bad game. He was really good, to be fair. Lucas Mecha, I mean, DCL gets all plaudits, but Mecha cost the exact same amount of transfer fee as what DCL did. He were free, and both of them are scoring goals. So let's have it. And I was really happy for Lucas Perry. He needed a good game, and he had a very good game. Some nice saves, and crucially got one of the penalty saves as well, which was excellent. Really pleased for the big man because he's had a difficult season up to now, and Lucas Perry was excellent, really really good. Nothing he could do about the goal. As I say, that deflection took it way beyond even Lucas Perry's wingspan. So can't criticise Lucas for the goal conceded. And saving that penalty, making those crucial saves he made in the 90, and possibly maybe one in the extra time. I can't even remember now. But yeah, Lucas Perry was excellent. So for me, these two were Leeds' men of the matches. Men of the match, sorry, Lucas Perry and Ethan Ampadu. But I agree, Okafor was effective for a lot of it. He tightened up around 70-75 minutes. And I believe he was subbed off, but Noah was pretty good, to be fair. Some at Leeds players were a little average and didn't really do that much to kind of stake a claim. Some of the ones that don't play regular, they didn't really do much to stake a claim to get into the 11. There is a concern about this young fella, Facundo Buonanotte. For the brief amount of time he's had with Leeds so far, looks extremely ineffectual. He's off the pace. He's not really getting involved. A bit like when we first signed Georgie Rutter. Just doesn't look up to speed. Now, obviously, Georgie Rutter became very good for us in the Championship. He's bloody done it again as FOTMOB. It's been right glitchy tonight. I apologise. But ultimately, I mean that. Buonanotte is gonna have to up his efforts, isn't he? There's no way that he gets into the squad otherwise. That just that brings us along Norwich City at Ellen Road in the next round. I'll just quickly go through some of these other FA Cup scores. Chelsea beat Hull, no surprise there. Wrexham beat Ipswich, teams in the same division. West Ham could only get 1 goal after extra time against Burton. Good God, that's dreadful. And Burnley got beat by Mansfield. Whoa, freaky. City could only put 2 against Salford. They must have gone soft and gentle with them being bloody neighbouring cities. You know, they bloody tonked Exeter in last round. I had Man City down for a 9-0. I really did. So for only 2-0, that's pathetic. Norwich beat West Brom to get a tie against Leeds. And they were at home there against West Brom, so team in the same division. Teams in the same division that have had similar paths in recent times: Southampton and Leicester. Southampton on top there. 2 Prem teams. Newcastle beat Villa. 2 Prem teams. Liverpool beat Brighton. There's the Leeds match. Wolves could only scrape 1 against Grimsby. Ugh. Oh boy. Sunderland only could put 1 against Oxford. Fulham 2-1 against Stoke. Some of these games are quite close, aren't they? I think I had Arsenal for a 5-0 against Wigan. They've got close to that with a 4-0. Brentford could only beat Macclesfield by 1-0. What on earth? And then this tie's still to be played. 3rd of March. Wow. That's a real big delay, isn't it? What the hell? Yeah, Port Vale, Bristol City. Anyway, right, there we have it, folks. But yeah, it finished Leeds United 1, Birmingham City 1, with Leeds winning 4 penalties to 2. 4 really good penalties, by the way. To put Leeds in the next round. So, I'll leave it there, folks. Big thank you for watching. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do please like the video and hit the hype button as well if you can. In the meantime, thanks again. See you next time. Bye for now.